Good morning. As a representative of the Federated Indians of Great Rancheria, I thank the Angel Island Immigration Station Foundation for inviting us to be here today, and I wish to introduce Great Rancheria's language group, who will provide a blessing for today's events. Personally, it is a great honor and a privilege to speak here today. As a member of Great Rancheria and as an archaeologist with an interest in the prehistory and history of Marin County, it is my pleasure to reflect briefly on the path that led us here today. For many thousands of years, our ancestors have called the Marin Peninsula and Angel Island home. In fact, some of the earliest archaeological evidence of human occupation in the San Francisco Bay Area comes from sites overlooking nearby Richardson Bay. Here over 5,000 years ago, Coast Miwoks lived among the natural beauty of San Francisco Bay, and scattered glimpses of this past are found in an occasional house depression and in collections of chipped stone tools, ground stone mortars and pestles, sometimes basket remains, shell ornaments, and dense deposits of mammal, bird, and fish remains, as is the case for Coast Miwoks residing at the site we are now sitting on top of now. Importantly, in addition to being places of physical sustenance, these sacred sites were also places of spiritual importance. Here at places like Angel Island, Tiburon, Point Reyes, San Rafael, Olampali, Tamales Bay, and Bodega Bay, our ancestors lived, dined, danced, and buried their dead. Fast forward 3,500 years. Coast Miwoks living at Angel Island and at Richardson Bay paddled out in their Thule boats and greeted the Spanish captain Juan Manuel de Ayala and his crew as they anchored here in 1775. Over the next 200 years, Coast Miwok and Southern Pomo and other California Indian communities were challenged culturally, physically, and spiritually by Spanish missions, Mexican ranchos, and American colonial encroachments. Yet my own research in nearby China Camp State Park, just north of us, tells the story of how Coast Miwoks persisted on the fringes of European society. At ancient village sites scattered across the Marin landscape, Coast Miwok continued to fish as their ancestors once had. They collected materials and weaved baskets, and they found ways to recuperate in the company of others, living and deceased, kin or non-kin, Indian or not. Fast forward another 200 years after Spaniards first anchored in Coast Miwok waters. We are still here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the language group of the Federated Indians of Great Rancheria.
Hi, we're going to say the earth blessing of the Waya. Oh. Unonimecha, Mamolish Opushuki, Mugan Keneto, Wayamako Tuishwushi, Unamako Tuishina, Shutwayato, Shutami, Makoni, Oh.
Thank you very much for starting us off with that wonderful blessing. Today, we couldn't be here to do all this work without our key sponsors of today's event, and I want to make sure to thank them, the Angel Island Company, the Angel Island Tiburon Ferry, Bank of America Charitable Foundation, the Blue and Gold Fleet, California State Parks Foundation, the National Archives, San Francisco, and of course our very valued partner in all of our work here, the stewards of the Immigration Station, California State Parks.